Hey guys, I'm Steph and welcome back to my beauty stash. Today we're going to be playing around with the brand new ColourPop and Tinkerbell collection. I picked up the eyeshadow palette. This is a 9-pan palette and it retails for $16. I also picked up the trio of Super Shock blushes. All three blushes retail for $20. There were also a couple eyeliners released in this collection, a couple lip stains, I believe, and also 3 Super Shock shadows. Now, the entire collection is available right now on the ColourPop website, and you can buy that for $96. I will have everything that I can linked in the description box of this video. Some of those links might be affiliate links, so if you do end up purchasing, I thank you so much for supporting me and my channel. I also picked up the new ColourPop brow pen. This is called Feather Effect Brow Pen, and I picked up the shade medium brown. Forgot to do my brows on camera today. I forgot I had this pen, so I was already starting to do my brows. And then I looked down and I was like, oh no, I have a pen to try out. I'll have to demo this in another video later on. But I am wearing the brow pen right now along with the Wet n Wild Brow Obsessive pencil in the shade medium brown as well. I just want to quickly show you how tiny, how fine a little tip this pen has. Like, this is the teeniest of tiniest brow pens that I have ever worked with in comparison to, and I have the Juvia's Place one as well, and I will be doing a Juvia's Place brow wear test video pretty soon here on my channel, but just to compare. That is a major size difference. So far, first impression with the brow pen, I am really liking it. I think it's the perfect size for me, especially because I don't have a lot of brow hairs to begin with. So sometimes a larger brow pen can tend to get away from you a bit. This one is just the perfect size. I'm really happy with it so far. First impressions, amazing. So let's dive into this too cute eyeshadow palette. It says sprinkle a little magic, and the artwork on it I think is precious. It's absolutely beautiful. It has a little bit of an embossing effect to it, kind of like a little bit of glitter. It doesn't come off or anything, but just adds that something extra to the palette. And of course, on the back, you have the shade names. And of course, ColourPop is cruelty-free. All right, guys, we're gonna start first with the Super Shock blushes, and then I'll take you into creating 2 looks using the Tinkerbell and ColourPop eyeshadow palette, and then I will give you guys my final thoughts. But before we start everything, I am gonna insert some swatches of all of these products outdoors in natural lighting so that you can see what they're going to look like on a fair to light skin tone. If you guys want to see the new ColourPop and Tinkerbell collection in action, keep on watching. Alright guys, I already have obviously my base products on, and I am using ColourPop. I tried to use as much ColourPop as I could. I'm wearing the Pretty Fresh foundation, and I am also wearing the Soul Body Face and Body liquid bronzer. I wear the shade Light in this one, and in the foundation I wear the shade Light 45W. And of course concealer. I'm also wearing the Pretty Fresh concealers. I have 2 different shades that I use. I use Fair 20N and I use Light 45W. All right, so let's start first with the Super Shock blushes. The packaging is just really cute. Like, they paid attention to all the details with this. This shade right here is called Darling. So I'm going to be applying using my rephr number 4 brush. I'm just going to pick up a little bit. Now you can apply these with your fingers, you can apply them with a sponge. I will likely go in with the sponge right after to make sure everything is blended, but look at that. It's definitely a bit of a sheen to this one, and I don't mind that at all. I've been really into these Super Shock blushes. More so than I have been the Super Shock shadows, and that's why I didn't pick up the Super Shock shadows, although they do look really, really pretty. I was kind of regretting not buying them, but I just know I won't reach for them the way I would reach for these, so that's why I opted out of those. But look at that. That is beautiful. Of course, I am going to clean this up a bit with my beauty sponge, but over the bronzer, perfect. Just taking a damp sponge. Always do this, at least I do, when I'm wearing cream products, just to make sure everything is blended and seamless as possible. Now we're going to jump into the shade Magic Moon. I'm going to use a different brush. I'm going to use the Luxie 512. This is more of like a coral shade. Definitely a lighter shade than the first one. Some kind of reminds me of the lipstick color that I'm wearing, and it is a ColourPop lipstick. It is in the shade at Twilight. It's one of those Lippie sticks from that Lippie stick stash cup that I bought. So I'll have that stash cup linked, because it has come in handy. You have just about all of the shades there. A lot of them are neutral shades too, just like everyday wearable shades. Look at that. That is a nice flush of color. Very soft. And I just love the soft little sheen that it gives the skin. Again, this one is Magic Moon. So far so good with these Super Shock blushes. I do have one more that I think is going to act more of as a highlight shade, and this one is called Happy Thoughts. So you can definitely see it kind of is more of a highlighter, and that's how I'm going to treat it. So I'm going to go back in with the rephr 04. I'm just going to focus that kind of up here on the tops of my cheekbones, since I didn't have any highlighter. I don't think I'm going to apply highlighter, just so we can use this as one. Kind of bring it up over here as well. I'm going to try using my finger. Alright, so I like that. I like that a lot. Again, I've just been really into this Super Shock formula, and the packaging on this was just too cute not to add to my stash. Perfect complement for the eyeshadow palette, which we're about to try. Let's start creating look number 1. Alright guys, I've already primed my eyelids using the ABH eyeshadow primer. So what do we want to do today with this Too Cute palette? It does have Tinkerbell right here as well. Of course, you get a mirror. Love the greens. That is one of the main reasons why I decided to pick up this palette. So I kind of feel like doing a first look with kind of these shades up here. So I think I'm going to start first with this one. This one is called Second Star. I'm going to start working that in my crease. And I'm going in with a BK Beauty 201 brush. This is a very light shade, so definitely needs to be built up. But it's not going to be built up that much. But at least it gives like a nice base to the crease area. Slightly, a nice little transition shade. A very soft transition shade. Alright, now I'm going to go in with this shade right here. This one is called Big Magic. And I'm also going to be building that in the crease. And I'm using a BK Beauty 202. These brushes are so soft. They are like the perfect brushes for doing, like blowing out the transition area. They feel really nice and comfortable on the lid. I do have a code with BK Beauty. Steff 10 will get you 10% off your order. So that's always in the description box of my videos. That and rephr brushes, because those are primarily the main brushes that I use. In addition to like Sigma and Morphe, but I mainly use BK Beauty and rephr. I've just had such a great experience with both. So this is just a nice soft wash of color. I don't think when we think of Tinkerbell, we think of too dramatic of makeup. I'm looking at the color story as I'm looking down and like looking in the mirror, kind of doing both at the same time. And I'm really happy with the color story, you know? Like I think it is a really nice color story. Also a nice transition from summer to fall palette. Definitely a spring palette too because of the greens. Very versatile. That's what I like. Okay, so now let's go down to this shade right here. This shade is called Place Between, and I'm gonna start applying that on the middle and outer portion of the lid. I do want to start with my finger, but I'm gonna switch over to a brush. But look at that shade. That doesn't look like what I thought it was gonna look. Interesting. Feel a little bit of fallout. It's a nice shade. I'm gonna grab a brush, perfect this a bit. All right, now for the inner corner, let's see, should we go for a green or should we go for the gold? I definitely want to do like a green look, so let's wait on the greens. Let's go in with this one. This one is called Small Fairy. And I am going to use a brush just because I'm going to be working with a really small area. So I'm just cleaning off that Morphe brush and I am going to spray the shade. Ooh, look at that. Wow, that's a nice one. Just kind of bringing it up here as well. So this is just a very soft eye look. Nothing too dramatic. Everyday, wearable shades. Pick up a little more of that shade Place Between. Maybe we'll do some green on the lower lash line. We'll see. All right, so let's see. I guess let's go back with Big Magic, and then I might deepen it up with this green. We'll see. Let me start first with Big Magic. And I'm using a BK Beauty 204. Actually, I kind of want to just keep this like all of the same shades. So I'm gonna go in with Place Between. Probably gonna get fallout. Let me try spraying this brush. Oh yeah, that's good. There's more kick up in the pan with the shimmer shades. Not really too much with the matte shades. Now I'm gonna go back in with Small Fairy just to brighten up that inner corner a little bit more. Bring some of that down. All right, I really like the way this came out. Let me add some liner. Should we do lashes? Maybe I'll do a lash, we'll see. And I'll be right back to show you all the completed look. All right, guys, so this is look number 1 with the Tinkerbell palette from ColourPop. I used a couple ColourPop color sticks to finish off the look. What I have on the upper lash line and also down here on the lower lash line is the color stick in the shade Coffee Shop. And since this is a rather large crayon style of a product. I use the BK Beauty 208 brush. It is a very, very tiny angled brush, and all I did was pick up the product and start lining, and it helped me do the wing. It helped me get right up here in those little corners. Just very precise application. I definitely recommend picking one of these brushes up whenever you're going to be working with, you know, maybe a crayon style of liner that you can't really get precision with. This brush will help. It'll come in handy. And then I also went in with another color stick. This one is in the shade Fave Things, and this is what I have in the lower waterline. Adding a nice, like a flesh toned shade to the lower waterline really helps to open the eye. Even if you apply white down there or like an off-white, a cream color, it's really gonna help the eye pop and look awake. So this is a very soft look. This is a very neutral look, a very everyday wearable look. Have that fun pop of gold on the inner corner. I like the way the look came out. The mascara I went in with is the McGrath Dark Star Mascara, and I used my rephr eyelash curler to get a good curl before applying the mascara. So let's move on to the left eye and start creating something green with this Tinkerbell palette. Alright, so I thought I was filming. Luckily, I didn't get too far. I'm going in with this shade right here. The shade is called Sleep, and I'm taking it on a BK Beauty 206. And I'm just going to be applying this, as you can see, all over the lid and into the crease. This is a very pretty green shade. And I love green shadows. I think that is one of my favorite shadows to play with, to use. But I also love like pinks and purples and blues. Alright, so I like the way that that packed on. This is a really pretty green. I like that. Okay, now we're going to deepen it up with this shade right here. The shade is called Awake. I'm going to be focusing that on the outer corner and also into the crease. And to apply this shade, I'm going in with a rephr 14. And just really build up the crease. Deepen it up. This outer corner. I like that a lot. Those two shades are beautiful. Look at that blend. It's a nice little gradient. Exactly the way I was hoping it would be. Really like this. Really like it. We're definitely taking it from daytime to evening. Although I wear all kinds of looks. No matter what time of day. I just love playing with makeup. Alright, now I'm going to do this shade right here. This shade is called Neverland, and I'm going to be applying that all over the lid. Careful not to get it too close to where I have this darker green matte shade going on. And I'm going to go in with the Morphe M124. I'm going to spray the brush. I do experience a little bit of fallout with these shimmer shades. So just be mindful of that. You might want to do your eyes first, or definitely lay some powder down. Oh, those shades are pretty together. Now I'm going to go in, same brush, with this shade right here. The shade is called Tink. And I'm going to focus that on, right here, the center. Just going to use my finger since I kind of swatched it. Just kind of cleaning this up on the sides. Now I'm going to go in with that dark green matte, which is called Awake. Alright, so far so good. Now for the lower lash line, I'm definitely going to go in with this first green shade called Sleep. And I'm taking that shade on a rephr 26. I'm going to bring it down some. connect them up here. Now I'm going to use the same brush and I'm going to pick up that dark green matte. Kind of just use it to line. Now I'm going to go in with the only shade I haven't used, which is called Pixie Dust. And same rephr 26, I'm going to spray it now. And that's going to be our inner corner highlight. Ooh, how fun is that? All right, so let me add some liner and mascara and I'll be right back to show you all the completed look. Alright guys, so this is a completed look number 2 with the Tinkerbell palette. Let me tell you quickly what I added. I used my go-to black eyeliner, which is the Wet n Wild Breakup Proof Liquid Waterproof Eyeliner. Always love that. Added some more Pat McGrath Dark Star Mascara. And then I went in with another color stick from ColourPop. And this is from the metallic line. This one is called Isla Vista. That's what I have on the lower waterline. It's just like a nice, like, sparkly lime green. I added ever so slightly a little bit of this to the inner corner. And that's how I completed the look. I'm loving it. Definitely my favorite look because it's green, but I do enjoy this one too because it is more neutral, everyday, wearable. Maybe you don't want to wear something like this during the day, you want to reserve it for evening. This palette definitely lends itself to creating both types of looks. Now let me give you guys my final thoughts on this ColourPop and Tinkerbell collection. Alright guys, so overall, I think the entire collection, even though I didn't get all of the pieces, but I have tried those products just in different shades, different colors, I think it was a really nice, well thought out, well constructed collection. I like the nice mixture of products that ColourPop offered us. We definitely got a really cute, like aesthetically pleasing eyeshadow palette. This is definitely something that if you're a fan of Peter Pan or just Disney movies in general, or just maybe Tinkerbell herself, you're definitely going to want to have this in your stash. For $16, you are getting 9 shades plus a mirror. It's a really pretty palette. And if you love greens the way I do, I am very happy to have this in my stash. The only thing I would have changed about this palette is these 2 shades right here. I would have just done one or the other and maybe do a deeper version of this one just to give the palette a little bit more depth. But overall, I love the color scheme. I think it accurately represents Tinkerbell, Peter Pan, the cartoon, everything. The packaging is really pretty. This is a really special packaging. Love this. The Super Shock blushes, the packaging on this is cute as well. And I loved all the shades. I liked that they gave us like a dark, medium, and light shade. I really appreciate that, especially because one of these, like this is the lightest one, you can use it as a highlighter. Feel free to use these with a brush or with your fingers, maybe even a damp sponge. Whatever your preferred method of application is, I have just really been enjoying these Super Shock blushes from ColourPop. And then also in the collection were a couple cream gel liners, which I love, the ColourPop eyeliners. And then there were also a couple lip stains available, which I've used the ColourPop lip stains before. I have 2 of them in my stash and I enjoy using them. And then of course there were also 3 Super Shock shadows available in this collection, which I do love the Super Shock shadow formula. I just don't reach for singles all that often. So that's why I opted instead to get the blush trio and just get the palette. Everything is available on the ColourPop website and it will be linked in the description box of this video. So I definitely think if you're a fan of Peter Pan, of Tinkerbell, of Disney in general, I think this is definitely something nice, well thought out, aesthetically pleasing to add to your stash. It definitely make a great gift for somebody that maybe has a birthday coming up in September or October. And if green shadows are your thing, which they are mine, this is definitely a nice palette to add to your stash. I believe the palette that came out last year, or was it around this time? It was the Mandalorian, the child palette from Star Wars, and I do have this palette. It's just not in front of me. That's why I'm putting a picture of it here. Definitely some similarities, but there are some differences as well. So just wanted to throw that out there in case you were wondering how the two compared next to each other. But let me know your thoughts, guys. Let me know what you thought about this too cute Tinkerbell collection from ColourPop. Are you gonna pick it up? I know a lot of you were really excited about it. You were anxious for me to do this video, so I'm hoping I did the collection justice. Leave me your thoughts down below. I want to thank you guys so much for watching another one of my videos. You all have a great day or night, wherever it is you all are at. Stay hydrated, guys. Drink your water. Cheers. And I will see you all very soon. Bye.